Hey guys, welcome to a new channel. I'm really excited to bring this to you. It's about documenting the process of building a startup platform business. Is it possible with a guy with no technical skills at all? So welcome guys, really excited about this channel. What we're going to be doing is sort of following the process and following how we are going to market and how we've built a sort of startup platform business. Whether it's successful or not, everything's going to be on the channel. So it's going to be a real honest sort of no holds barred sort of appraisal of the business. Is it possible for a guy like me who has no real technical skills, no programming skills, no real, I'm not a computer buff. Is a dude like me, just an ordinary guy, able to build a platform business and build one successfully? That's the question. And it's going to be quite a cool process for me to document it and see, where we've come from, where we're going and where we want to be, and perhaps if you're watching and you can draw some inspiration from this, if we are successful, and I truly want to be successful, and I hope we're successful, and I have faith that we'll be successful, but you never know with business, it may not work out like we plan. But if you are sitting there and you're a guy or girl, you've got a good idea, you want that to happen and you want it to get to fruition, you watching this now, you may sit there and think, this looks a complete idiot, but there may be some things, little gems that you can take out of this channel. And what we are going to be doing as a channel is we're going to be going to establish businesses and seeing how they do things. We're going to be going to guys who are building other platforms, seeing how they do things. We're going to be going to other startups, seeing how they're doing things. We're going to go to companies that have built successful platform businesses in the past and see how they do things, and hopefully get advice from all of them and implement that in my business, and hopefully you can implement that in your startup or in your existing business. So this channel, I think, will have a lot to offer all of us, and I'm really excited to do this. We hope to release one video a week. Let us know if you do subscribe to this channel. Please, we want to know your comments. We want to build a body of people that can help us as a business grow. And some of you out there have a lot more skills than me. And you can tell us where we're going wrong. What are we doing that we shouldn't be doing? And what aren't we doing that we should be doing? Those sort of things really, I think, would be very helpful. So I think let's start off a little bit with myself. I'm 48 years old now. I'm an old bullet. I've got 3 gorgeous children, a lovely wife. And for me, family life is really important. It's sort of the base where everything I do works off there, if that makes any sense. And if I'm having a bad day at home, if I'm fighting with my wife or I'm not doing things like I should with my children, I battle at work. I'm one of those type of dudes. So I'm pretty soft, and I like to have a great home life. That's first priority for me, and then obviously work after that. I'm a man of faith. I believe in God, and so whatever I say on this channel is going to be viewed through that lens. So you can take that or leave that as you please. I currently run a very old school business. I run a tarring company, an asphalt business. We build and construct sort of small parking lots and road widening. So if a guy is building a new estate or residential complex or something like that, and he needs to roaden the wides because the council tells him to, if he wants to build his building, they come to guys like me to do the road widening. And we have a team to do that, and then I've got another team to do sort of maintenance, like slurry seals and pothole repairs and building speed humps or calming zones, those sorts of things. That's pretty much what we do. We have about 20 employees, just over, and it's a tough business. In this country, South Africa, Johannesburg. In this country, construction is really battling, and finding work is difficult. And when you do get work, you're going in really cheap. So for 2 years now, I've been building another business, and we're very close now to launching. And so before we launched, I wanted to start this channel so that we could document how we do, and how we do it and what the results are, and hopefully they're all good. So again, we'd love your feedback, man. Give us whatever you can. We'd really appreciate it. So we we had a tragedy in my family, 3-4 years ago now, and I really, really wanted to build a business that wasn't linked to South Africa alone. I wanted to build a business that could be international. I could run this in Mauritius. I could run this in England, Australia, wherever I wanted to be. I wanted a business that could do that. So that just gave me and my children options. At the time when this tragedy happened, I thought, did I really want my girls to grow up in this environment? And to an extent, I still think that. And I still want a business that gives me a lot of options. And looking around a business today, I'm involved in a very old school business, and I was thinking, how do I build a platform type business? That we all know the stories, the Ubers of the world and the Airbnbs of the world. They don't own one hotel room, they don't own one taxi, or sort of a completely different way of doing business. And I was thinking, okay, I'm in this construction company that sort of just makes ends meet. I'm not doing great. I get to the end of every month and we don't really make profit. We just sort of get by. And now we've just started working again after this crazy time with this pandemic, and we've had 2 months where we were shut down in lockdown and we haven't been able to work. And you never really plan for zero income. You plan for maybe a loss of 10 or 20 or 30% of your income. You lose a contract or whatever, but zero income for 2 months. And in this country we haven't had much help at all from the government. In fact, very, very little. And so you sort of left to your own devices. In my industry, we have a December shutdown, so that's when we take our leave generally. It's 3 weeks, and in our case it was 4 weeks this year because we didn't have a lot of work. So for 4 weeks we were off. You have double salaries, you have leave pay. And I didn't have a war chest in January. It was pretty much taken, we were down to zero. And then, the end of, halfway through March, you start getting told that you're going to be closing your business and you haven't really been able to build up any cash. And then you get 2 months of no income without any help. And then on top of that, you get 1 or 2 bad debts. My business is really, really struggling and I'm not too sure whether we will survive. And it is something that does concern me a bit. But in the last 2 years, we've been building another business, a business that has a sort of forward vision, a business that we can work anywhere in the world, a business that will give me options and freedom if it works. And that for me is so exciting. I'm far more excited about that than losing my business, my existing business now. So, sitting in my office in Joburg thinking, okay, what business can I run? I have no skills. I have no I can't program. I have no ability to, I'm not a great strategist. I don't really, sometimes the stock market goes up and in my mind I'm thinking, geez, this should be like tanking at the moment, but guys are buying. I'm not really too wise in the ways of finance and business operation. I'm running a barely profitable business as it is. So I was thinking, how do I build a business? How do I build a platform business with none of those skills? This YouTube channel will tell us whether we can or can't do that. How do I build a platform business out of a construction company? It was a hard one, I'm not going to lie. It took me a while to come to sort of an idea. And eventually I did come to a good idea. Often I go to a new site and I get there and I need, let's say, for example, road curbs. I get on the phone and I say, listen, I need road curbs in 3 days' time at this new site. And they say, Jono, listen, sorry, we sold out, we're just casting now. It's going to take 2 weeks till they're ready. And then I'm running around trying to find road curbs because my main supplier doesn't have. Or, for example, I need aggregates or I need asphalt or, the asphalt plant breaks down and I need, asphalt from somewhere else to this new site where I am. Or I need a roller or a digger or whatever I need. And for some other reason, my suppliers or I've got a breakdown on site and they can't supply me quickly enough. So then I'm running around and I'm, phoning the office and we all sort of on Google and Gumtree and whatnot, trying to find like a digger or a roller or road curbs or whatever it may be, man. Surely there's a better way of running this. And that for me was this sort of the the sort of, that's where the idea came into my head. And I said, well, yeah, there is a better idea. Why don't you build a platform where you've got all these suppliers on board, and you have, all the road curb guys in that area, and you have all the digger guys who rent out diggers in that area, and you have all the guys who supply asphalt or aggregate or whatever you need for a construction project are on our platform. So you go into our platform and you say, I need steel windows for the house I'm building. I need aluminium patio doors for the house I'm building. I need rhinolite seating board. I need bricks. I need cement. I need whatever you need, whether it's ready mix or just dry cement. This will be on the platform with suppliers listed, and they have a sort of delivery radius, and you go in there and you order your materials, and it gets delivered to you on the day that you need it. So then a client like me can come onto the platform, go on there and say, listen, I need bricks. This is where my site is, and this is how many bricks I need. And this request can go to all the suppliers in the area, and they can all come back to him and say, yes, we can supply those bricks, or no, we can't, and here's our cost. And he or she can say, great, I want that, supply me with those bricks. And I thought that would be quite a neat and elegant sort of solution. It's not rocket science, but it would be quite a cool platform if we could build it. That sounds great, and if we could pull it off, it'd be really cool because, construction's a big industry. So the question was, how do I build this? I mean, I can't program. I don't have much cash. I don't have the technical skills. I don't even really know the right people to approach. But I did know some people, and I thought, you know what? I'm very lucky in that I've got a large family. And my nephews, the three of them, my sister's kids, just happen to run their own software development firm. And I thought, let me approach them and talk to them about building a platform like this. What would it cost? So I had a meeting with my nephew, and I said, listen, this is what I want to build. What is it going to cost? So he came back with some numbers, and I thought it was pretty high. He says it was really cheap, but I thought it was pretty high. And I said, okay, well, let's start building. And, we sort of came to an agreement, and I was going to pay a monthly, till we got to a place where, enough of the platform was built. So we did that. And 2 years later, because we've gone that route where we haven't had a lot of money, he's running his own software development firm, and he's sort of been building the platform in their own time. What eventually happened along that process is we started to run out of money, and the platform started to look really good too at the same time, and we sort of had that convergence. And they said, well, we came to agreement, and I can't even remember if it was from me or it was from them, but we came to the sort of agreement where they said, okay, well, Jono, listen, we'll build more of it for you. In fact, we'll build it to, stage 1 completion. You give us a percentage of the business. So we did that, and they've got a percentage of the business, and they're doing all the development until we go live. And then, they are shareholders now. So they have a sort of vested interest in this platform working, and this platform looking as good as it can look and as chic as it is. We're not well funded. We haven't had a lot of cash. We're now in a process of going live, hopefully pretty soon. So what are the short-term goals?
So what are the short-term or initial goals for COP? And I think the first one, obviously, is that we need to open. If we're not open, we're not trading, and we don't have any chance of making any money. So we need to open, and we've got to do that as soon as possible. And as soon as we've opened, we've got to make the first sale. I mean, the whole business now is geared to making that first sale, because we know if we make one sale, we can make 100,000 sales. So everything needs to be focused on getting that first sale, and I think that'll be a really happy day when we make a first sale on this platform, once we obviously are open. And then I think pretty soon after getting the first sale, we need to start covering all our costs. And we don't have a lot of costs, luckily, so we just need a few sales to start generating income to cover those costs. And then pretty soon after covering costs, we need to start to look at expanding into the other cities in South Africa. And SA is a small place. Luckily, with our sort of runway and our sort of money, we can hopefully get through SA with the sort of money we have on hand at the moment.
Maybe I'm asking the impossible. I don't know. But we have very low costs. You know, we really are in a position now where the suppliers we have on board, keeping them happy and ensuring that when we do get clients, you know, they're getting enough work coming their way. And if suppliers are happy and it's easy for clients, you know, I'm pretty sure we're going to have organic growth, and I'm pretty sure it's going to grow quickly. So what I'd like, you know, if you've watched this episode and you have some tips, pointers, help, please just stick them in the comments below. So next episode, you know, we'll get a little bit more into nuts and bolts of the business about where construction is in South Africa at the moment, you know, what sort of dire place it's in, where we are as a startup in terms of how much cash we have, what's our runway, how long can we last as we are now. Hopefully give, you know, more concrete dates about an actual start date. We'd really, really love to hear your advice, your criticisms, and some help and some tips. Put them below. As I said, you know, I'm just an ordinary guy trying to build something extraordinary, and I really need all the help I can get. I have faith that it'll work. I really do. I'm really excited about it, and come hell or high water, I'm going to give this thing everything to make sure it works. Everything. So we'd love your comments. Thanks for watching. Cheers.